now have the roll call. Clerk.
Councilmember Archibald.
Here.
Councilmember Haremza.
Here.
Councilmember Lamb.
Here.
Councilmember Mosrak.
Here.
Councilmember Payton.
Here.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Here.
Mayor Ashford.
Present. Council members, you have before you the minutes from our regular city council meeting on July 13th. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved
Support.
by Mayor Pro Tem and supported by Pemberton. Is there any discussion? Ms. Mayor Ashford. Chair recognizes Councilmember Payton.
I just wanted to state that I want to move to amend the July 13th closed session minutes before they're approved. I move that the minutes be corrected to explicitly record that a vote was taken inside that closed session to alter evaluation documents and to list the individual vote of each council member present.
So that would be in the closed session.
I do that.
Minutes, which legally we can't open those up. Those are not open to the public. They can only be opened with a court order.
Understood, but I do want to make a statement about it that I know I can legally make.
Okay.
Okay, so she
If
is
I may?
a parliamentarian, so is that legal? She can go ahead and make a statement.
I will not disclose any of what took place.
Yes, because you
As far
can't
as-
disclose anything that took
Yeah,
place.
That's why it's closed session.
Yes.
I understand, but there was a vote that was taken that should not have been taken, correct? You do not
There
take a
was no
vote.
vote that was taken in that meeting that I'm aware of. I don't have anything recorded as a vote.
Okay.
There was a vote taken.
Oh, okay, do you have a statement?
Yes.
Outside of that, okay, she said.
I'm not going to divulge what was written in my evaluation. I know I cannot do that.
Okay, but do you have a statement? Overall
Yes.
Statement, okay, she said that is permissible.
Okay.
Madam Mayor.
Excuse me.
Madam Mayor, a question.
Yes.
At this point in time, I would advise the mayor and council I explicitly invoke my employee rights to confidentiality. There is no legal counsel here tonight. Before you make a statement, I would advise you to contact legal counsel for a review of that. But I am explicitly tonight noting that should anything be said here tonight in violation of labor laws, we do not have an attorney here to advise the council, but I would encourage you to seek counsel.
If you
Should
still
we
wanna-
consult with the attorney?
I beg your pardon?
Should we consult with the attorney?
Not we, you, it's your statement, you own that.
Yes.
So-
There was a violation of
But
the
you
Open
can-
Meetings Act.
He's just forewarning you, but if you feel that you are in your legal, you are in your legal rights, you could do that. But he's saying the repercussions afterwards, are you willing to take that if you?
I've contacted the Attorney General's office,
Oh, okay, well.
and there was a vote that was taken that was against the Open Meetings Act. So I will wait until I speak with the Attorney General again, and I will pause for my statement.
Thank you. Okay, so we will go ahead on with the vote, now the discussion. Okay, calling for the vote over the minutes.
Councilmember Archibald.
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza.
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb.
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak.
Yes.
Councilmember Payton.
No.
Councilmember Pemberton.
Yes.
Mayor Ashford.
Yes.
To hear comments on the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report for the 2025 program year.
Okay, so I know there's a lot of new people in the audience, but this public hearing is for those wanting to make any comments on the, let me get it right here, on the Consolidated Annual Performance Evaluation Report. So is there anybody here in the audience wish to come forward and make any comments towards that report for the year 2025? Going once, going twice. Public hearing is now closed. We will move forward to our comments. Okay, at this time, we will recognize each city resident or city business owner who signed up by calling who signed up, and the clerk will call your name and you will come forward. And as always, speakers may address the city council on any agenda item or any matter under the city's jurisdiction. And the speakers are allowed one 4-minute opportunity to make their comments. So.
Our first speaker tonight is Astra.
Good evening. My name is the alien Astra. There's a historical home located downtown, 1402 Military Street. It's actually the oldest home in the city and is even a stop on the trolley tour. I lived in that building from May of 25 to May of 26. When I entered my unit, it was a dirty and disheveled mess. I spent 10 straight hours deep cleaning, even scrubbing sludge from off the walls and ceiling. I did not mind, though. The house had a whimsical and unique charm to it, so I wanted to make it my home. As we moved into the colder months, things picked up rather quickly. Starting in October, I did not have proper plumbing, heat, or electricity. In fact, I did not have heat all winter. My electricity was out for almost 3 weeks due to a broken fuse, and without the intention to call an electrician in, my landlord decided to stick a screwdriver into the fuse box to pull out metal pieces. Very smart man. I additionally had a broken toilet for 2 weeks. Do not ask how I managed that. And I had human feces, which began bubbling up out of my shower drain while I was bathing. Every single one of these incidences, I addressed my landlord directly. I asked him to handle it promptly. Multiple times he would simply ignore me, or he would say he would get to it in a few days. But when that day came, he never arrived. He refused endlessly to hire a proper plumber or electrician. I had the city building inspector come out to inspect my unit 2 to 3 times, and each time he looked at my apartment, he said, "Well, not much we can do about it. He's already $30,000 in debt to the city. You'll have to take it up with a lawyer." I stand here before you to confront the harsh reality of some of the slumlords within our community, especially in one of the landmark historical homes. Absolutely no citizen should be subjected to that type of treatment. It is dehumanizing, cruel, and unjust. I'd truly love to hear how you feel about these types of situations being confronted. You can enact ordinances over the landlord association, revoke the licenses of repeat offenders, and strengthen your building inspection policies. I'd furthermore like to add on that during my time spent dealing with my landlord, he continuously belittled me, spoke down to me, made obscure comments about my gender and sexuality, and called me slurs. So therefore, I stand on my prior comment about creating a human rights commission in Port Huron. My story deserves to be taken into consideration, and landlords like this deserve to be held accountable. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments.
Brian Farquhar.
Brian Farquhar, 19th Avenue. Here on more of a personal level tonight. We'll start it off with something positive. The parking lot's done outside. First time I've been downtown and seen that the barricades weren't up, so it's kind of nice. Didn't park in there because didn't want to fall through. I'll wait for other people to park there first and check it out. But so some of you may know, because I've talked with a couple council members about it, Mr. Haremza, Ms. Payton, I know I've reached out a couple times. Mr. Freed, you and I have been in discussion about this. I have an issue with the building department in the city of Port Huron in regards to my driveway. I was given a notice that because I laid some landscaping bricks down the side and made like a pretty much a border between my grass and my driveway that I enhanced my driveway more than 50%, and because my driveway is concrete, now I am going to have to, or because my driveway is gravel, I now need to lay concrete in over it all. That was the first notice that I got, okay? So I sent James a text and sent him some pictures and was like, hey, what's going on, you know? And he says, well, I'll look into it and we'll see, you know, administratively what's going on, okay? Called Keisha. I don't expect Keisha to call me back because realistically she just answers the phone down there, but left her a voicemail message, got no response from there, left a second voicemail message, no response from there. Finally, a couple weeks after I talked to James again, I get a phone call from the building inspector, Paul. I get about 25 seconds on the phone with him. He says we have bad reception. He can't hear me. I can't hear him. He says the issue with my driveway is railroad ties that are put up the side of it. Unfortunately, they were there when I purchased the home. I didn't put them in. You know, whatever, you want me to take them out, I don't like them, so I'd happily do it, but it's gonna, I gotta move some trees and do some other stuff. It'd be some work to get the railroad ties out. So, I get a second notice. It now says, the first notice said that the issue is with the front end of my driveway. The second notice now says it's with the back end of my driveway. So I call Paul, because now I've talked with him once, leave him a voicemail, I get no response. Talk with James again tonight. I just want to know what is wrong with my driveway. Is it the front? Is it the back? Is it the side? Is it the left? Is it the right? What is it? Because once you specifically tell me what's wrong with it, I will decide then whether I find it in violation and want to come down and pull a permit, or if I want to go through the court process of it. But as it sits right now, come the 29th of this month, I'm done with my notices. And I'm on to the appeals process in the courts, and I still don't know what I'm supposed to fix. So, unfortunately, not to throw Keisha under the bus, because I find her to be completely a wonderful person to work for. When you call Keisha's voicemail, it says that they are currently working out of the building and it may take up to 2 weeks to respond. That's fine. We are now into 60 days and I don't have a response or an answer, okay? I would like a response or an answer from somebody. I don't expect one from David Haynes because the last time I asked about a permit thing, I got a really nasty 3-sentence email saying I didn't ask him any questions, didn't expect anything, and that the permit now was closed and that was the end of whatnot. So I'm not going to talk to David about it. I would like to speak with the inspector and know what's wrong. And then at the end of the day, what's happening here is I'm being harassed by my neighbor that lives across the street. That's called in for citronella candles burning on my porch, which I'm sure everybody sits outside and might burn a candle to keep the mosquitoes away. All the rest of it, and at the end, he's renovated his whole home, from plumbing to the rest, and has a snow fence in his driveway.
Thank you for your comments.
Greg DeVoe?
Greg DeVoe, Port Huron. Good evening. I want to ask a simple question tonight. Who is supposed to be transparent in America, the government or the citizens? If the government wants access to private contents of my phone, there are constitutional limits, and in many circumstances, law enforcement needs warrant. If government wants to search my home, the Fourth Amendment provides strong protections and generally require a warrant. Subject to recognized exceptions, there are constitutional protections involving searches of our vehicles as well. Why? Because in America, government is supposed to have unlimited access, isn't supposed to have unlimited access to our private lives simply because we're innocent. Yet now we're putting cameras throughout our communities that can record where our vehicles are, when they are there, and potentially create a searchable history of our movements. And we're told, don't worry, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to hide. But that's not how constitutional rights work. The Fourth Amendment doesn't say you are protected from unreasonable searches only if you have something to hide. It exists because our government power is supposed to have boundaries, and here's that bothers me the most. Government is supposed to be transparent to us, the people. We're supposed to know what the government is doing. We're supposed to know how our money is being spent. We're supposed to know what policies are being implemented. We're supposed to be able to question the people exercising government power. Somewhere along the way, we've started reversing that relationship. Government becomes less transparent while technology makes the citizens more transparent to government. I think we have that backwards. I'm not saying police shouldn't use technology to investigate serious crimes. I'm saying there is a fundamental difference between investigating a suspect and building a system that collects information on everyone who drives past. If there's evidence that I've committed a crime, investigate me. Follow the Constitution. Use legal process. Get a warrant when one is required. But don't collect information about my movements or my kids first and decide later whether you have a reason to look at it. And that's why I'm not asking this council to simply create another policy for these cameras. I'm not asking you to keep cameras and promise us the data will be handled responsibly. I'm asking you to take them down. If the law enforcement has legitimate reason to investigate someone's movements, use the investigative tools available under the law and obtain a warrant when one is required. But ordinary citizens shouldn't have their movements collected simply because they drove to work, took their children somewhere, went to church, visited a business, or drive through their own town. I shouldn't have to prove I'm doing nothing wrong to deserve privacy. Government should have to justify why it needs to investigate me. The answer to surveillance should never be, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about. Because this is America, government is supposed to be transparent and answer to the citizens of this town. The people were never supposed to be transparent to the government. So I'm asking you plainly, take the cameras down. And if you guys want to do more cameras, they should be in all your offices, at your driveway, so we can find out where you guys go, what meetings are taking place, and have accountability that way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Kirchner.
Council, Michael Kirchner, resident of Port Huron City. Here today to discuss primarily my experiences here with McLaren Hospital. What I believe started as law enforcement using welfare checks to do warrantless raids on my properties appears to have amounted to a lot more. Now, when I was in jail and I told CMH there that the sheriff had robbed me, beat me, smashed, busted my genitals and urinated on my head, and I was uncomfortable in jail, and they petitioned me out on delusions. I guess I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I have been driven back to McLaren multiple times now by a ringing in my head, and then told it was, and then the doctor's right that I was there for delusions. I've been there for low strength, poor energy, and blurred vision, and was told, the doctors wrote that I came in for delusions. I was there, went there with leg cramps, foot problems. Again, doctors wrote that I was in there for delusions. In addition to that, when they didn't say, I've been there half a dozen times, got papers saying I was there for delusions. When they didn't say I was there for delusions was when I was brought there directly from jail with my pants full of feces, marks all over. They didn't have cameras to take pictures of the wounds on my face or my body. I said I was hallucinating, but I was released with a good bill of health that time. In addition to that, I've been picked up on orders by the judge and the doctor, repeatedly taken to the hospital, told I was brought in for delusions and left. So now there's a whole stack of papers saying I've been in the hospitals for delusions, psychosis, schizophrenia, psychoactive disorders. Not one of the times was I brought to the hospital for that. It was me going in for a different thing, a different element, or police bringing me in on a pickup. That's not delusions or psychosis bringing me in. So now we falsified a lot of documents. The court's been backing that. The symptoms, they're all saying this is schizophrenia. Now, my symptoms of schizophrenia include an inability to log into my accounts, emptied bank accounts, missing 401k, the FOC withholding all of my income, stolen identity, vandalized properties, cut common utilities, devices flooded with child porn, lying doctors, and dishonest judges. What I've described here is basically a textbook definition of potentially human trafficking rings, malpractice, and healthcare insurance fraud. Now, certain what I can do about this, considering I'm unable to even get an email to work or make or receive phone calls at this time. But thank you very much, Council. That's it for today.
Very much for your comments.
Sandra?
Hello, everyone. This is kind of ironic because I was actually going to start out with telling you that you guys do work for us. We don't work for you guys. However, I've changed my entire approach because what I really want to talk about is the proclamation to recognize June as Gay Pride Month. I guess I don't understand the need for the recognition because gay pride has been recognized for decades. So I don't fully understand. See, I think part of our problem in America is our pride, which is sinful in nature, and our egos as well. Everyone wants to be right. Everybody wants to be number one. But that's just my opinion. So I want to get into the duties of the council members. Number one, council members swear an oath to serve the public interest of all Port Huron residents. So I asked, does this recognition represent all citizens and does it benefit the city as a whole? Council members should not advocate for special interest groups as your primary legal and ethical duty is to represent the entire community. Does gay pride represent our Christian community? Does this represent the people in our community that feel bullied and told we must accept the lifestyle of the LGBTQ+ community? Most people, including myself, don't go to bed at night wondering what gay people are doing. We really don't. It's your life, live it how you see fit. If the gay and trans community would stop trying to force their beliefs on people, you would have less opposition. We are not obligated to accept your lifestyle, just as you are not obligated to accept mine as a Christian. We believe what you do in life is between you and God. Number two, council members must disclose and abstain from voting on matters where they have a personal conflict of interest. So my question is did Ms. Payton vote on the proclamation? Because there's a special interest there. Also, did Ms. Payton misuse her position in representing a personal opinion as the official stance of the city of Port Huron, as the day of the recognition, she wore a t-shirt advocating for transgender rights? Seems like a misrepresentation and a misuse of office or position. And I wonder, should an ethics investigation be initiated? Number three, favoritism. Securing unearned exception or advantage for oneself, family members, or specific other persons. And I'm not sure about this one, but I'll throw it out there anyways. Securing personal gain, knowingly using an official position or office to secure special privileges. If we were to recognize April as Christian Awareness Month, would that be a misuse of office from a Christian member on the council? Because we all know right now Christianity is under attack in this country. But let me be clear. I'm not here to bash the gay community at all. I don't care what you do with your life. It's none of my business. But again, if you stop making your life choices everyone's business, you'll have less opposition. I would say the majority doesn't care what you do as long as you are a good, decent person in society. which most are. I know a ton of gay people. I was gay. So I know a ton of gay people. I work with the gay people, all good people.
Your time is up.
Are you serious?
Very serious. Thank you for your comments.
I'll finish, wait, I'm next.
Kathy Nugent?
Yes, I'm right there.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Kathy. I also had started a different way tonight, but what I've seen tonight has changed my start as well, Your Honor. I would like to address, apparently, this council does not know the rules, which you keep citing. They start with an M, I'm not sure of them either. I will find out tomorrow. I'm gonna go upstairs tomorrow, I'm gonna find out the rules of these meetings, and I'm gonna know when you guys break the rules from now on. If this wearing of the t-shirt with this gay people here, that you have this little club, and we give them all this money, that is definitely not proper, not appropriate. Very disheartening. Now, it's fine, we want to represent everybody, I got no problem. There are plenty of worthy citizens in this world that happen to be gay. The problem comes in when you now start to think, I'm an animal, I'm a cat, I'm a dog, I'm an alien. What are we supposed to do with these people? They need mental guidance. They need to have a conversation with someone that knows what they're doing. They're only hurting themselves by being delusional all the place. And how do you trust them with your money at a job? How do you trust them with your finances when they can't decide what sex they are in the morning when they wake up? It's ridiculous. And now they don't stand for the flag. They won't stand for a pledges of allegiance. Why would they come in here crying about needing special laws? We have laws already that cover everybody. And how dare you disparage my police chief and my police department? Oh, I need a special law because I'm gay. No, we have proper laws that cover everybody already. We don't need any special laws. You're a citizen. If you get murdered it's a hate crime for everybody, not just because you're gay. If you get murdered because you're a man or a woman, if you're not gay, is it not a hate crime? Of course it is. It's ridiculous that they come in here disparaging everybody. Oh, I need a special law. We're done with that. I don't think you guys represent as many of us people as you think you do. There's no patriotic pride in this town. There's no red, white, and blue anywhere. You have definitely become the Democratic machine, and I'm ashamed of it. It's not proper at all. You no longer represent everybody, and it's disheartening. Now we see that you can't even get amongst yourselves. You are definitely the Democratic machine, definitely. And I agree in proper rehab because other people have spoken, and I agree that you're in trouble, and you're already in trouble, and things have already happened. So you can do what you want. It's already a matter of record, and files are being made, and that's all I can say. Now my friend here, she has a lot to say about this going on around here. She used to be gay, she's not gay anymore. It just shows it's a matter of mind. It's not a situation. You have chosen to be this way. Now again, most of us don't care.
Point of order.
Point of order.
Point of order, what does that mean?
Okay, it means that she has an objection, okay, and when your First Amendment rights will be carried out here because they're part of the Constitution here, but you have to talk to all the council.
I am speaking to all of them. I don't know who's gay and who's not. I know she is because she makes it known.
Well, don't make sure. Well, just.
I started speaking to you, Your Honor, and I will look at everybody that I want to look at.
Yeah, we just.
I have rights too.
Yeah, that's what I just told you. You have your First Amendment rights. That's how come I'm sitting here and we're listening to you.
Yeah, you guys are the Democratic machine. You are not representing everybody in this town anymore, and we have had it. We are going to change things around here with our votes and with our attitude and with our determination. And you can all count on that. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you. Thank you. Please, we're respecting you, and we would like that same amount of respect. And if you do get out of any order, I will instruct our police officers to remove you from the chambers. We're not kids here. We're adults. And we need to respect one another. That's all we're asking. And a lot of times you wonder why we don't interrupt. Because of First Amendment right. That's what we're here for, to listen. We work for you. I think somebody said that. We work for you. But we are people, we're human beings, and we respect you, and we want that back. So now we will continue. Do you have any more?
Yep. Craig?
Well, I guess I'll keep the theme. I had no idea it was going to be a gay night. First and foremost, it wasn't that long ago that it was illegal to serve your country and be gay. And that's ridiculous that that ever existed. So people who are trying to hold down gay people are fucking sick. I don't care, you're sick. You can't sit here and tell me that people have served this country, died for this country, and they're gay, or they're whatever. You sure as hell are.
Hold it. Who is that? Would you please remove
This
her
country has held people down. This nation is held, yes ma'am.
Please, hold it. Okay, talk to her, let me get this straight, because we're having a meeting. It's not a free-for-all. You okay, Chief? Is it okay? All right, thank you, you may continue.
Thank you, Mayor. I will not allow people to be destroyed on my country. I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're anything. You can celebrate anything you want as long as you don't hurt anyone. That's it. Anything that attacks bringing knowledge and not making the same mistakes that we made before and saying, hey, history doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it sure as hell rhymes. And if we're gonna sit here and say, oh, we're gonna take away your gay pride, that's stupid. Let them enjoy, have fun. Heaven forbid that they wanna have something that they enjoy. Stay out of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. We have some more.
Brandon Huntoon.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Brandon Huntoon, 829 Prospect. I'm here again on behalf of our neighborhood because the way our concerns regarding Pine Grove Park, Prospect Place, and Thomas Edison Parkway have been handled is unacceptable. For months, our neighborhood has tried to work with the city in good faith. More than 270 people signed our petition. We sent the city videos of speeding, reckless driving, and motorcycles doing wheelies alongside a public park used by families, children, pedestrians, and cyclists. Our neighbors came into this very room and stood at this podium because they believed participating in their local government mattered. And what happened? They were told the road is safe. The city's speed study on Prospect reported an 85th percentile speed of 24 miles per hour. Based on the manufacturer's explanation of how that equipment records speed, those final speeds were captured as vehicles approached the curve where drivers would naturally be slowing down. We didn't ask the city to disregard the study, we just asked for a second study on the straightaway to give everybody a more complete picture. The answer was no, and the issue was closed. Meanwhile, on Thomas Edison Parkway, a vehicle was recorded traveling 70 miles per hour, and approximately 300 vehicles were recorded traveling 45 miles per hour or faster in a 25 miles per hour zone in a week's time. And yet those results were deemed normal by James Freed. Perhaps nothing better captures the response we received than City Manager James Freed telling us, try to find some joy in this nice weather. We weren't contacting City Hall because we weren't finding enough joy in the weather. We were asking our government to address a public safety concern. Then there are the pedestrian yield signs. Those signs were repeatedly struck by vehicles. Most recently, the city was sent a photograph showing one lying in the roadway. James Freed responded that these signs would be removed to avoid any further confusion. Approximately 30 minutes later, they were gone. After months of asking for additional safety measures and further study, the city demonstrated just how quickly it can act. And given everything that preceded it, that action felt retaliatory. I cannot tell you what the intent was, but I can tell you how it was received by residents who have spent months advocating in good faith. So we know the city has the ability to act, and the question is what it chooses to act on. And council, this is where responsibility comes to you. James Freed is the city manager. He is not the elected representative of our neighborhood. You are. With the exception of Councilmember Barbara Payton and Mayor Anita Ashford, who have responded and engaged with our concerns, we have largely been met with silence from our elected representatives. And silence is also a decision. Our neighborhood did everything we were supposed to do. We organized, we gathered hundreds of signatures, We sent you the videos. Our neighbors stood right here and respectfully asked their government for help. They deserve better than silence and dismissal. This is no longer simply about Prospect Place. This is about accountability and whether public participation in Port Huron actually means something. We're asking for an answer. And council, if you are unwilling to answer your constituents, unwilling to engage with them, and unwilling to speak up when they bring legitimate concerns before you, then we have to ask, why seek this position? Why are you sitting up there? What is the purpose of being an elected representative if you'll not engage with the people you were elected to represent? We deserve an answer, and we deserve engagement, and we deserve representatives who are willing to represent us. So I'll end with the same question our neighborhood has been asking. Where are we at with our neighborhood's request from June 8th? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Betty Hall?
Good evening, Mayor, Council, James Freed. I just want to say thanks, James, for coming to the Trash Bash. That was nice. It would have been nice to see more people involved. Next year, hopefully, will be bigger. Hopefully, we'll see more people involved. We picked up quite a bit of trash. James came with a cute costume. We did, it was really nice. And the events that followed after the trash had at her dumpster was really nice. Everybody had a good time. So I'm happy for that. She's finally up and she'll be getting going, and that's a great thing to see. When I started coming here, I said, I know you can hear me, but are you listening? And I have found out that sometimes you guys do listen and do respond to me. After the meetings, you answer some of the questions that I answer. So I appreciate that. But one thing I'm concerned about is we have the float down coming up pretty soon. I've been down to the beach a few times, and there's been almost a few more children that have almost went under. I know that we collect for the parking, but is there some way that we could get some lifeguards or something down there? I don't know what the liability is or what's going on with that, but if there would be some lifeguards down there. If we can't do it this year, maybe try to do something next year, because we've already had one drowning down there. And like I said, float downs this weekend, I believe, or next weekend. There's gonna be a lot of people down there. So it concerns me, you know. Hopefully we can come together and do something about it. You know, lifeguards or extra people to volunteer to help. And there's gonna be a lot of trash and stuff down there because it's gonna be flooded with people. So I don't know if we can get some extra trash cans or stuff down there. So instead of seeing it thrown all over the place, that would be nice also. But, you know, let's just try to work together instead of against each other and make this town a good place. It is. I love Port Huron. I've been here a long time. So, you know, let's just all work together. We don't have to like each other, but let's just work together. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much for your comments.
Nicholas Bowles?
All right. I'm not here to berate you guys. I'm probably the least of your guys' worries. I moved back to Port Huron. I was born and raised here. I moved back here probably about a year or two ago. I had a conversation with James Freed probably about a year ago about this. Mterra Environmental. They are, I hauled trash for 9 years. I worked for Marcotte. I cut my teeth when Marcotte had the city. It was take all. We took piles that were the size of this stage and 4 feet high. Piles big enough that we loaded out the truck halfway through it and had to come back to finish that pile before we could move on. Never once did we complain. We kept the city clean. Since then, I've moved on. I'm now a county worker. I'm happy in my job that I'm at now, and it's just, Mterra, they refuse to pick anything up. They're getting less and less each time they come by. They want to complain about everything. I went out and got tip carts for them because they have cart tippers on the back of their trucks. I bought tip carts. I figured, heck, it'd make it easier on them. I know it made it easier on me when I could just wheel a cart up to the back of the truck and tilt it in. Even though I used to pick up them 50-gallon tip carts and just whip them into the back of the truck from the curb. But I know everyone's not as big and strong as me, so I'm not gonna go on that. They are refusing to pick up the tip carts if the trash ain't bagged. I understand, I've called and talked to someone about that. They say that's the rules, but they have equipment for a reason. They complain that their equipment doesn't work that week, so they can't pick it up. So they just refuse to take the can. Or if it's bagged and there's just a few things in there from the yard that aren't bagged on top of it, they won't pick out the bags. They'll just leave that whole can. Their equipment is shoddy. It leaks all over the roads. I know when I worked for Marcotte, that was a big thing. We could not have older trucks in the city of Port Huron, and we couldn't have them leaking at all. If they leaked on the roads, then we would get in trouble for it. Our management made sure to tell us about that constantly. Make sure your equipment is not leaking because we will get fined. Now, I don't care who picks up the trash. I want to make sure that it's picked up. I'm the kind of guy, I leave everyone alone, you leave me alone, we're all happy. I go to work, I go home to my kids, I got 4 kids and a wife. I just want my life to be, I don't want my wife calling me while I'm at work saying that she's got to tote the trash cans back in because they didn't take them. So, that's all I got to say. I thank you guys for your time and I appreciate it.
And we thank you for your comments.
The last for this section.
So that was our last person. I'd like to thank everyone who came forth and shared their concerns tonight. And there's some, we have comments, the city manager's report is coming up and he may touch up on some of these things. So we will proceed with our next agenda item is?
Receive and file the city manager's administrative report for July 2026.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by, who is it?
Lamb.
Councilmember Lamb. and
Support.
Supported by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald. Any discussion?
I have nothing tonight.
You have nothing to do? Okay. Anybody have any questions on the reporting or anything? I would like to report under the city manager. We get a report of all of our different departments here, and so I would like, something that really struck me is our current employment opportunities. We get that. We have full-time positions open. We have police officers, McMorran maintenance technicians, guest services and event coordinators, solid system operators, controller, and we have part-time seasonal positions open also. We have police cadet, McMorran food and beverage services, that's at the concession stand. We have security, we have bridge tenders, McMorran operations, and we have part-time network technicians. So this is just something I pulled out, and I believe, is this online?
Yes, Madam Mayor, porthuron.org/open government.
Oh, okay, it is online, so just look under Port Huron. Okay, so we call for the vote.
Councilmember Haremsa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Item G.
The consent agenda?
Yes, is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald and supported by Councilmember Lamb. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremsa?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Under the consent agenda, we have 10 items under communications and petitions. 1, receive and file notification from the Michigan Liquor Control Commission that an application has been received to transfer ownership of a 2026 SDM license with Sunday sales permit to 786 Huron Investment Group and Company located at 1301 10th Street. Under report from the Director of Finance, receive and file notification that the annual conflict of interest statements have been reviewed and no discrepancies have been noted. Under resolutions, we have 7. Accepting, this is resolution number 4, approving the sale of the vacant lot at 2937 28th Street for $5,000. Resolution number 5, accepting grant funds and approving the development project agreement as received from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources for the 2025 Trust Fund Grant Program in the amount of $250,000, combined with a local match of $250,000 for the purpose of constructing restrooms, ADA parking, and other related park amenities at Sanborn Park. Resolution number 6, accepting grant funds and approving the development project agreement as received from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources for the 2025 Trust Fund Grant Program in the amount of $250,000, combined with a local match of $250,000 for the purpose of constructing multi-sport field, accessible play features, ADA parking, and other related park amenities at Knoxville. Resolution number 7, accepting the grant funds and approving the development project agreement as received from the Michigan Department of Natural Resources for the 2025 Trust Fund Grant Program in the amount of $250,000, combined with a local match of $250,000 for the purpose of constructing accessible play features and other related park amenities at Lakeside Park. Resolution number 8, designating the voting delegate for the Michigan Municipal League Annual Convention. Resolution number 9, confirming the mayor's appointment of Janet Hazard to the South Side Neighborhood Improvement Authority to fill a vacancy on the board with a term to expire October the 23rd, 2028. Resolution number 10, approving the agreement with the St. Clair County Community College to assign 1 police officer to serve as college resource officer on the St. Clair County Community College campuses. And under ordinance, we have 1. The second reading and enactment, an ordinance to amend Chapter 52 zoning, Article 3, District Regulations, Division 1, generally section 52-162 map of the Port Huron Code of Ordinances to rezone the property generally described as 1011 Pearl Street from a C1 zoning district, that means general business district, to an R1 zoning district, single and 2-family residential district. And that is your consent agenda. And we will now return to from the city manager.
Accepting the bid from Raymond Excavating Company in the amount of $828,987 for the 24th Street Road reconstruction and utility replacement from Nern Street to Dove Street project.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Mosrek, second by
Support.
Mayor Pro Tem Archibald. Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'll give you a breather after having to read all that. That was a lot.
It sure was.
Nicely done, nicely done.
Yeah.
This is a lot, if you remember back a few years ago, they had done a mill and fill resurfacing of 24th Street, and people asked, why didn't we do that between the city limits and Dove? And the reason was the utility work underneath the road. And so this will be complete reconstruction, doing the water and sewer, also the surface work from the city limits, which is just south of the train bridge, to Dove. This will also include a road diet that will go from 5 to 3 lanes. It's simply not needed to have 5 lanes of traffic there. We will continue the road diet past Dove, all the way down to Nern, past Knox Field. And it is our intention to put some new on-street parking next to Knox Field, where the playground is and the pavilion is, so make it more accessible for folks to just be able to pull in and park. But this is a full reconstruct, and that's the reason why we didn't do it a couple of years ago.
Great. And I think it's going along with all the other enhancements down there.
Yes.
So we set it up just for that purpose.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
thank you. And I know we hear road diet a lot, so road diet, it just in lay terms is like traffic calming, you know? So when you diet, you just want to be able to ride down the street calm and everything. So when we do, you know, diet, you know how they play with wording, phases, phraseology? So that's what that means. Some lady asked me that, she said, what do you mean diet? How are you going to diet a road? I said, we're going to make you go over there a little bit smoother. So, okay, so that's the discussion. Any more discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Mosrek?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Motion carried. Council members, you have before you from the city manager 2 through 6, and we're going to take those all together. And how those connect is that they're all the funds are being taken out of the motor vehicle fund. And I'd just like to, I guess, just take my hat off that we did see the light. We always used to say, why do we have to go to My Deal and save money and everything? And I think we all received an email from the city manager saying that, you know, that money could stay here in the city of Port Huron. And so the agenda was changed to make sure that we gave our people here, Northgate, Ford, and Moran, you know, gave them the opportunity to get some of these funds. You know how you got to take your home first instead of putting our monies out everywhere else. So that was the huge change. Do you want to say anything else about that?
It's been motion taken.
No, I haven't even read them yet.
Oh, no, I'm just, oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Accepting the bid from Moran Blue Water CDJR in the amount of $137,019 for the purchase of 3 2027 Dodge Durango Pursuit all-wheel drive vehicles for use by the police department. Number 3 is accepting the bid from Northgate Ford Incorporated in the amount of $50,978 for the purchase of a 2027 Ford F-250 4x4 Crew Cab XL truck for use by the fire department. Number 4 is accepting the bid from Northgate Ford Incorporated in the amount of $83,882 for the purchase of 2 2027 Ford F-250 4x2 style-side pickup trucks for use by the Streets Division. Number 5 is accepting the bid from Todd Wetzel Buick GMC of Westland in the amount of $41,673 for the purchase of a 2027 GMC Savannah 2500 standard length cargo van for use by the Utilities Division in accordance with the State of Michigan My Deal purchasing program. And number 6 is accepting the bid from Northgate Ford Incorporated in the amount of $57,638 for the purchase of one 2027 Ford F-450 4x4 chassis cab pickup truck and approving the bid from Truck and Trailer Specialties Incorporated in the amount of $47,370 for the purchase and installation of a Cry-Steel 9-foot select dump body, hoist, tarp, and hydraulic system for use by the Parks Division.
Okay, is there a motion for?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Councilmember Mosrek and supported by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald. And discussion, and I'd already mentioned how the linkage is as far as the motor vehicle fund.
Yep.
So now you have any comments?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We use a program called My Deal, and essentially the state procures, let me read this. It's a cooperative purchasing program in which the state bids out commonly used equipment and vehicles that municipalities in the state of Michigan would purchase. Because procuring individual vehicles is very cumbersome. It's hard to do apples to apples and oranges to oranges and all of that. And so it actually is a huge time saver to be able to use the My Deal program to procure vehicles. And we get a very competitive pricing most of the time. However, tonight we had about $425,000 in vehicle purchases because we're bringing all of our vehicles at the same time in the budget year instead of bringing them out. To me, that is a lot of money to leave our community to go purchase vehicles from dealerships elsewhere when the dealerships here pay property taxes and pay their employees and contribute to our local economy. And so what I thought it would be fair is we go back to the local dealerships and give them an opportunity to match the My Deal pricing. If they can match the My Deal pricing, we should keep it local. I want to thank the sales team and the owner of Northgate Ford. They did match the Ford vehicles for price, but they took it a step further and they beat it by 2%. So that's pretty amazing to keep that money in town. Same with Moran. Although just outside the city jurisdiction, most of those people live and work in the city, and for them to be able to have their patrol cars. And I want, when you see a city truck going around and a police car going around, that you see that local dealership sticker on the back tailgate. I think that's important. I know that the mayor and council do as well. And so I appreciate the local dealerships being willing to match the My Deal price to make sure that we can keep it local. So that's about almost $300,000 that would have left our community, which is now going to be in our community.
So any more discussion?
Mayor Ashford?
Yes.
I'd like to thank James for taking that initiative. I think anytime we can keep our money local, definitely within Port Huron, but even within the surrounding area, it is the wise thing to do. So thank you for taking the initiative to make that happen.
Anyone else? And speaking of that initiative, so going forward, is this going to be our?
Yeah, we'll always give
Well,
I always want to give the local dealerships an opportunity to match My Deal. Sometimes they won't be able to, because My Deal, if you sell that much in bulk, you just can't beat the price. But it's better to ask than just ignore them.
It is, and it's never too late, because I know we've had that conversation up here a lot of times. We've been here a long time, and we always wonder, why My Deal, why can't we go somewhere else? But it somehow got out there.
Well, My Deal is a very useful tool for the procurement documents and
Right.
make sure we're comparing apples to apples, so that's helpful.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Okay. Roll call.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Okay, next item on resolution.
Authorizing 20 payments.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by.
Support.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Archibald, supported by Councilmember Pemberton. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Peyton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes.
Approving the 3-year Community Wellness Program Partnership Agreement with the Port Huron Police Department and St. Clair County Community Mental Health.
Is there a motion?
Support?
Moved by Councilmember Mosrak, supported by Councilmember Lamb. Is that?
Yep.
Councilmember Lamb. Okay, any discussion?
Madam Mayor, it would be okay, I'd like the Chief of Police to
Oh, sure.
present this.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Starting out, so I was putting numbers together for talk about this. I kind of wondered what we did before we had our CMH clinician working with us. Starting in 2023, we had 54 overdoses. In 2025, we had 24. As a result of that is our clinician works with the mobile overdose response team. And within 36 hours of overdose, she reaches out with a group of people, offers services that are available in the community, and helps escort them through that process. So I kind of look at police work sometimes, especially in the mental health field or the overdose, we're kind of a Band-Aid for the night. We can't really fix or solve the problem. We're not equipped for it, trained for it, and that's not what we're here for. And she's able to pick up that part after the Band-Aid and help them move on in the process. But especially with the mental health field specifically, she comes out, she responds on the calls with us. So if the call is identified as somebody in a mental health crisis, being petitioned to the hospital, suicidal, she'll respond and assist with interacting with the person going through that crisis, help identify the situation they may be experiencing, and help us bring it to a safe resolution, and then help follow up from that incident and getting help with services. A lot of the partnership with CMH is she also has the records ability to interact with clinicians at CMH. So instead of us operating in two different silos where you show up at your meeting at CMH and you're able to put it together for half an hour, but then when you're out in the community, you're having tons of police contact and it's kind of falling off the rails. With her help, we're able to get that early intervention, get them back on track before it really goes awry and something catastrophic may happen. Aside from helping with the community, well, I guess there is a couple more. She responds to suicides, completed suicides, child deaths, and some other deaths in our community, and helps the grieving family through that process, not only that night, but throughout the time that they need it, or assist them with getting to resources that they could use. She can help create safety plans for the families that are experiencing problems with their juveniles at home. So we may leave the call where she'll continue on and assist the family for hours at a time, do follow-ups, that kind of thing, that our officers don't have the time to do or that expertise. And then even internally within the department, so as we respond to these traumatic incidents and calls, officers may experience some grief or trauma from it. She's able to help and work with our officers through that process and release some of the trauma or stress of the job, as well as helping us with training on identifying mental health issues, how to interact with people, how to calm the situation, and hopefully prevent it from escalating to a violent incident. I think that's the majority I have to say about Sarah, and she's here with us tonight. But she's done a great job. Our partnership has been great. We've seen a reduction in repeat calls, or the number of repeat calls for people in mental health, say, crisis. She's been able to reduce the times that we've had to go back to the calls and get them back on the right track and be able to maintain a better lifestyle in our community. So it's been a great partnership, and we'd ask that you strongly consider renewing it and keeping it going.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
If I could add, I just want to say how proud I am of the Port Huron Police Department. This is a pioneering program. You bring up the Band-Aid. I see the briefings, I see the hot sheets, and when you look at the call runs that the police department goes on, a vast majority, and you would do a root cause analysis of the reason for the call. A vast majority of the time, it's not criminal in nature. And so this isn't just about a police response. This is about a community response to calls for need in our community. Sarah has done an absolutely tremendous job. I believe you're close to 400 diversions in the last year, referrals that would otherwise be a criminal response or a police response, or referrals for service, and to really get down to the root cause of the reason for that call, for an emergency call. I applaud the officers within our police department. This was a new program. This was an innovative program to embed a social worker in your patrol car to ride along with you. They embraced it. They embraced it. They advocated for it. The amount of officers that come to me and tell me, James, we can't lose Sarah. What she does is so tremendous to our work. Having her out in the field is almost better than having another officer with you, because she's that effective with her pools of resources. So Sarah, I applaud you. You are a pioneer in your field. You are doing a tremendous job. You have earned the respect of our officers, and they love having you around. I applaud Chief for his leadership to ensuring continuity in this program, that it stays consistent. I want to grow this program. I can see us having more than one Sarah in the future. I think it's important. But again, Chief's right. Too oftentimes law enforcement's the Band-Aid, do a root cause analysis and solve the reason for the call.
Anybody else have any complimentary? To Sarah, you hide back there. Why don't you stand up for me so they can see who you are? And thank you for all that you do. And thank you, Chief, for all that you and your guys do.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Resolution approved.
Authorizing the purchase of the former All-Star Vending Building and properties located at 3443 Military Street for the purchase price of $1,100,000 for use as a storage and materials handling facility.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Mosrak, second by
Support.
Councilmember Pemberton. Discussion.
Madam Mayor and Council, you have all been briefed on this purchase individually. This parcel is strategically located in South Park, where all of our development activities are going on. It is in a key corridor. This will be a strategic hold. We will not keep this building forever. Our goal is to purchase this building. Right now, people may not know this, but we lease thousands and thousands of square feet of warehousing space throughout the entire city because we store so many, everything you can possibly imagine we store. Whether it's vital records, to equipment, to Christmas decorations for Pine Grove Park, to equipment for McMorran. This will provide us storage in a single facility. Right now, when we have to send staff out, they have to go out to a facility that's not very conducive for getting equipment out. They have to pull everything out, get what they need, put everything back in. We will stratify this cost, not just from the general fund, but all the different funds who will use it for storage. I have directed the EDA to continue marketing this building. So we will use it. We will offset our about $35,000 a year in cost for storage. We will no longer have to pay while we hold this building. Should a company or a business come who wants to take that building and put it to a higher and best use, we'll move out and sell it. But this is a strategic hold. This financially is a smart decision given how much we're paying for warehousing costs right now. It will make us more efficient. But this will not be in a forever purchase. If somebody comes along and says, hey, I want to move my company into there, we'll move out. But in the meantime, we'll make a strategic hold on this.
Any more comments?
Mayor Ashford,
Yes.
I just have one question. Where exactly are the fundings coming from? Not all general?
No, correct. It'll come from the land purchase fund. It'll come from the general fund. And then proportionally, if other departments like water and sewer need to store stuff there, on a square footage rate, I'll charge it back to those departments.
And our fund balance is still safe.
Yes, our fund balance is doing very well. I will say the Smith family, All-Star Vending, is selling this building to us at a very discounted rate. If you were to build this building today, it would be close to $3 to $4 million. With that said, if we don't buy this, we're going to have to build about at least a 10,000 square foot building at $500,000. That wouldn't be, the last pole barn we built was $400,000, and it didn't have electrical, didn't have insulation, wasn't heated, wasn't fireproof sprinkled. This has all of those, which will be helpful for us.
Council members, we all had, separate meetings with James, and, it's a need. It is a need, and the cost, if we wait any longer than that, we'd be going up. So, this is, okay, go ahead.
I was just going to note, I think it's important to note, I think it's a great idea, James, and thanks for briefing us all on that, but also the very large parking lot out back that's including this, and then two lots next door that we had rezoned for All-Star when they thought of expanding, so it's a pretty large area for a really good price at this point. So I appreciate all the footwork on that. Thank you.
Yeah. It's all-in-one strategy and the right thing to do.
Yeah, I will add on that. We've already been in conversation with a business who may want to sublease or purchase the Outback building. And then also working with our planning department, we have 2 residential properties there, building at least 1 home there, possibly 2 homes there. Because those are nice lots you can see the water. And so we're not going to keep this whole parcel for city businesses. We can develop this parcel and do a strategic plan with it.
Yes. We have a leverage.
Yep. Yeah. I also want to thank Carissa Kramer from Kramer Realty. She is back there. She has done a fantastic job taking all of our staff. She hosted all of our division heads and department heads. We walked through the building to talk about will this work. Chris has facilitated numerous site visits for the last, has this been going on for 1.5 years? At least that. So yeah, she's done an excellent job for us.
Thank you, Chris. Okay. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Haremza?
Yes.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak?
Yes.
Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes. Item L.
First reading, an ordinance to amend Chapter 52 zoning, Article 3, District Regulations, Division 1, generally, Section 52-162 map of the Port Huron Code of Ordinances to rezone the property generally described as 1222 Water Street from an R1 zoning district to a C1 zoning district.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Pemberton.
Support.
Second by Councilmember Mosrak. Any discussion on this? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Lamb?
Yes.
Councilmember Mosrak? Councilmember Payton?
Yes.
Councilmember Pemberton?
Yes.
Councilmember Archibald?
Yes.
Councilmember Huron?
Yes.
Mayor Ashford?
Yes.
We do have a speaker.
We're at public hearing for our non-residents, and this is the time that when your name is called, you could come forth. And remember that you have 1 4-minute opportunity to make your comments. So if you would kindly, we have one speaker, I believe.
Yep. Alexandria Little?
City Council. I prepared a statement, but I made it large print so you guys could enjoy it as well. My poster reads, "Flock out, no mass surveillance in Port Huron." Now, many of you are probably aware of the security cameras that have cropped up around roadways throughout our whole county. Most of those are flock cameras, which go to an AI company that takes in those video feeds, and they will analyze whatever's in the video frame, and then they will keep that stored basically in perpetuity. So between my house, which is 3100 Keewatin, Fort Gratiot, I think you guys need that. Between there and my mother's house in China Township, there is 3 different sets of flock cameras that I pass by. So every time that I go to visit my dear mother, there is a record that is now retained ad infinitum, apparently. And this is for everyone in the room, too. Every time one of you pass one of those little solar-powered cameras. Pardon. The board, I apologize. But yes, to the board, everyone in the room, including the board, drives past these every day, which means we all now have a permanent record of where we've been and who we've visited, what businesses we have gone to and been customers of, what church you go to, basically anything that you would go to your car in, you will be watched. And this is, this can cause issues that I don't think are plainly obvious right from the get-go. Our community being surveilled like this can lead to a lot of problems. One example that happened recently from a flock camera was a family of 6 was pulled over in their minivan. Multiple police cars pulled up with their guns drawn, had everyone out, get out on the ground, the whole 9, because a flock camera had detected that their license plate was for a stolen vehicle. Now that stolen vehicle was not a minivan, it was actually a motorcycle in a different state. Now this kind of stuff can continue to happen, and these machines are hardly infallible, which is why things can be incorrectly assumed from this video that is actively being recorded as I speak to you all across our county. Now I understand there's not something in front of this city council today to make action on flock cameras, but there may be in the future. And I would remind any on the council who are rather politically minded that this company, any kind of mass surveillance system, especially those fed into AI, are an incredibly politically unpopular position. So if you ever find yourselves in front of a vote, any way expanding this camera system, in any way encouraging it, in any way allowing our police department to further use it, anything along those lines will be remembered by your constituents. So I would encourage any of you that would like to be reelected to take a little look into this, because it's a serious issue. And I know that the police department may come to tell you it'll increase public safety, but I'd like to quote Ben Franklin, one of our founding fathers, who said, any person, I'm paraphrasing, who would trade away liberties for safety deserves neither. And I feel that when we just give away where we are, who we're associating with, and everything else in our increasingly fascist country, that we put all of our citizens here at risk, and truthfully also the citizens of other countries, or other countries too, yes, but even our own country. There have been examples of other states using information from this system to try people for crimes. Say someone comes to Michigan to get an abortion, whatever your opinions may be, it's legal here. But if they go back to their home state and that home state looks up on our flock cameras in this county and says, oh, that person was there and we have a record of them traveling all the way up here and traveling all the way back, we think it's an abortion, we'll arrest you, we'll try you, we'll put you in federal prison. Because they came to our state and did something legal here, that data feeds into a nationwide network accessed by the federal government, accessed by ICE. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, that concludes our agenda items here for this evening. We do have two announcements. Our city offices will be closed on Monday, September the 7th for Labor Day. And the next regular meeting of the city council will be September the 14th. So those are our two things to remember. They'll come the next week or follow, so it's only one meeting, so we'll see you, look forward to seeing you on September 14th. And have a safe Labor Day and be kind to one another and just live life and continue to be the best we can for Port Huron. We can do this. So, adjourn.
Madam Mayor?
Oh.
I have just a quick thing. Regarding flock, I'm a very sensitive person when it comes to Fourth Amendment. One of our jobs, my job as a city manager is to flag issues, right? So when a policy or a contract comes to us, my job is to flag it and send it to legal for review. When we first deployed the flock camera system, new technology, there has to be checks and balances, right? I believe that the Port Huron Police Department has amazing officers, but I do believe there's officers across this country who may not have the highest standards and high ethical standards. So checks and balances, audit. Your depiction of the flock system is not quite what it actually is. And so I think there's a lot of misinformation out there regarding flock, right? And misinformation scares people. I don't want someone tracking where I go because my wife would figure out how many times a week I go to Casey's. So I don't want a permanent record of my vehicle driving around town. So I think what we need to do here is when you have concern about a policy like flock, an implementation of new technology, we should get information to the public. I think that's very important. So what I want to do is I want to hold an informational session with our police department and representatives from flock to go over, for anyone who's interested, and learn about what flock actually is and how we use it and the internal checks and balances and internal controls that we do use. None of our officers can just log on to flock and track a vehicle. There's internal controls, what you can use to access those and how you access those and how you have a proper mandate to access those. So with that said, we're going to get an informational session on the book sometime in the next 2 months when we can get some representatives here to explain to anyone in the public who really wants to ask questions about how flock works and how is your information and your civil rights and your Fourth Amendment rights protected. Because I think that's incredibly important. It's so important that I had a legal opinion drafted about this 3-4 years ago when we deployed flock, because I wanted to make sure that those civil liberties were protected. And I did flag this issue back several years ago to have it looked at. So anytime there's an issue like this, the best antidote is sunlight. So we're going to shine sunlight on this issue. We're going to answer all your questions and any concerns you have, and we're going to bring transparency to the use of this so that you have the information properly needed to make an informed decision. Does that sound good?
Well, that's what your council is supposed to do. You're supposed to put the facts out there
Yes, we will.
so you can make your decision. Okay, so we'll look forward to that where we get together and call a meeting with our law enforcement. Have you all invited to the table.
You will announce when the meeting is?
They will. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Madam Mayor, I share the concerns raised. I share the concerns raised in the press. I've seen it all over eastern Michigan. I don't think they're invalid concerns that should be disregarded. I think they're legitimate concerns that deserve legitimate answers, and I want to get those to you folks.
He's on track. Yeah, okay. So any more feedback? I know the committee met today. Did you guys still put in a word? Everything's all set? Okay, thank you all very much. Councilman
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, motion to adjourn. So moved.